the spread offense kind of taking college football by storm or whatnot. In terms of how effectively they run it and efficiently they run it, I mean, compare Oregon to maybe the rest or anybody else that would run it in the country.
Well, the spread can do multiple things. Some people will spread you to throw it first, and some people spread you to run it first. Oregon spread you to run it first. And then everybody has a screen game, packages out of it, and then a lot of it is tailored to your best personnel, and so you try to diagram things that fit your best personnel. So it all has its variations, but what Oregon does is they incorporate their quarterback so well with their two running backs that are probably faster than anybody else, and they spread the field, and they're physical enough to block well in the edge for the screen game. And then their backs are just so quick, and so give them just a little bit of room and it's over. And I think that's what makes the difference. They've been running this offense for a little bit, and they've kind of tweaked it based on their personnel. Some years it hasn't been as effective as other years, and a lot of it has to do with the personnel that's in it. And right now, the James kid is so fast and quick that he just changes what happens, and it's amazing when you have somebody like that. It's like Jerome Harrison when he was here, a 2,000-yard rusher, and and a lot of times things weren't blocked right, but he made things look right, and that's what Michael James does for them. I mean, they do things great. Don't get me wrong; they execute extremely well, but you compile that with the talent, you get what they're getting right now: 56 points a game.
Any more questions?
Coach, can I follow up on your comment about the fact that the Ducks give up a lot of passing yardage because of teams falling behind? But when you're working with your offense, does that actually give them any additional confidence knowing that you can get in front of these guys?
Well, I think so. I mean, hopefully our players are starting to gain the confidence, and they are, that we're evolving here on our offense. With our our quarterback and O-line and our receiving core, to have the confidence that they can go out and execute and throw the ball around, and we're doing that, and I think it shows up sometimes against Oregon that you have that capability to do that, but it also comes back to making sure we're putting the right blockers on the right people coming and giving our quarterback time. I think that if we can have some time and we're capable of creating time for Jeff, that they'll convert. They'll be able to complete balls, and they'll be able to move the ball. So I believe we have confidence and we're gaining that as we go, but we also know we're facing a very good football team, a very good defense. And, we've got to go out and execute. We've got to go play good, sound, hard football and compete our tails off.
The other thing I had, Coach Kelly had an interesting comment this morning about ignoring the scoreboard when they fell behind last weekend, is that really all their staff pays any attention to is the final outcome. With you having so many young kids, is it possible to actually do that kind of thing where you can say that we're going to keep working on our game plan?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, and it's a good question, because that has been something we've really been stressing this season, and particularly the last 3 or 4 weeks with our players. And it needs to be a program culture and how you handle your team, and we got to educate our players, and that's a process. But we always talk about the scoreboard lies, and it's a liar, and it always lies to you until there's no time left on the clock, and then that's where the truth is. And so to get too caught up in it too early really is a waste of time, and it only interferes with what our mission is for the 4 quarters and how we got to play. So that's something we're trying to breed within our kids and our players right now, and our program. And I think they're starting to see that, and they have to continue to understand the scoreboard's a lie until the game's over, and at that time we can pay attention to it. But that's how we are approaching it as well.
Thanks.
Yep.
Coach, just one last thing on Carpenter. Is the move back to safety permanent, or could you see him going back to quarterback next year?
Well, that's that I don't know. I could see it being permanent, but a lot of it is depending on how we continue to evolve and stay healthy at corner. We are redshirting Tracy Clark and Brandon Golden, who we think got a chance to be real fine corners, which would add to the other two that are freshmen and sophomores. Plus, we have one committed already. We feel like we're starting to grow our depth, at our positions. And if those two kids continue to blossom on the redshirt side of it and develop through spring and fall, then it looks like we'll have appropriate depth at that position, which would allow Anthony to stay at the safety position. So that's kind of where it's at. For me to say anything's definite right now, I can't, but I think that's where it's headed if all things continue to align like they are.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Question about Wilson. I mean, he's just a freshman, obviously, but if you look at the numbers that he's on pace to hit this year, I mean, it's statistically.
I haven't looked at him.
He's on pace right now for 60 catches and 1,099 yards, and I mean, I think he's like going to be on pace to be the 9th guy with 60 or more receptions, the 8th guy with 1,000 or more yards in school history. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal for
That guy's 17 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, Marquise is showing flashes so far of some really good things, and he's nowhere near the player he can be, and I think that's very exciting. And he's got a lot of work to do, but so far he's done very well. And Jeff's obviously just in his second year as a quarterback, so there's a lot of exciting times ahead. We got to keep these guys going and growing, and I think the more we develop our other players at the receiving core, the more that's going to help Marquise as well. And the majority of these guys are back, and then we could add someone like Christoph Williams and Bobby Ratliff and Blair Bomber that right now look like they're going to end up redshirting, but they're capable potentially now to help. But we're just redshirting them, and I think as these guys grow, with the nucleus of receivers we're going to bring in again in the fall, a new group. We've got something special brewing here. We're going to be able to throw the ball extremely well.
What's he been able to do in terms of being able to a downfield presence? He's really been able to stretch the field. I don't know if you really had anybody like that the last couple of years.
No, we've had nobody like that, the last couple of years at all. And we stress the importance of having playmakers, and everybody has to have them if you're going to move the ball. I mean, Oregon wouldn't move the ball if they didn't have them. And we've done our best to recruit and to bring those type of players in here, and we're doing that. And they're just young, but as they continue to mature, like Marquise has done at an early stage, then the future's really bright.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.